My name is Drobney, Father Drobney, and I am a priest in this charming little communist country where out of 4 million inhabitants, 3,975,000 are atheists, and about 24,000 are agnostic, and the other 1,000 are Jewish. The point is, I don't have a big following. This is the United States Embassy of this country. 6 years ago, I ran in here seeking asylum from the communist police. Outside these walls, there were 4 million communists determined to kill me. My choice was simple. I could remain here in the safety of your embassy, or I could go out there and attempt the biggest mass conversion in history. I decided to stay, and I've been hiding upstairs ever since. The head of this embassy is Ambassador Janice F. Magee. She was put here in charge by government because of her firm grasp of world events. Each morning for the past 4 years, she enters this room, surveys the environment, and graces us with her clarity and wisdom.
Geez, would you look at all those communists?
This is typical of ability to sum up a situation brilliantly. Mr. Kilroy is Ambassador Magee's bright-eyed, efficient assistant.
I am the only man in the Foreign Service who knows the words to the second stanza of the Star-Spangled Banner.
All of the vital memos are sent to Mr. Kilroy. Mr. Kilroy.
Mr. Kilroy, take a vote amendment. To all embassy personnel. Unless a new embassy building is purchased, we must find new ways to make room in this small mansion. It was unfortunate that when Darren Quayle passed through the country last week, we were unable to put him up for the night. It was equally unfortunate that nobody here recognized him. See that this does not happen again.
And this is Ambassador Magee's other assistant. Not exactly bright-eyed, not exactly efficient. In fact, the only man in the history of the Foreign Service who accidentally wrapped his lunch in a peace treaty.
I've worked in 17 U.S. embassies, some for as long as 3 weeks.
This young man has worked at this embassy for 6 months. That's the longest he's ever worked at any one embassy. Why? Because he's pleasant, he's eager, and he's the ambassador's son.
You sent for me, Mom?
And here's where it all starts. I'm going to get back to my room.
Axel, because of my superior record here, the leaders of our party are considering placing my name in the upcoming gubernatorial race in our state.
Mom, I think you'd make a wonderful governor. Your broad outlook would appeal to psychotic liberals as well as militant fascists. Something for everyone.
Naturally, in my absence, this embassy must remember the same brilliant efficiency it is accustomed to while I am here.
This is a quiet little outpost. There should be no trouble.
Axel, I'll level with you. I was considering leaving Mr. Kilroy in charge, but it looks bad for the family image.
Mom, the Foreign Service is my whole life. Just give me a chance once and for all to prove myself. What can go wrong in 2 weeks?
You were in Brazil for 2 weeks, and you had been importing coffee.
Mom, I know how much this governmentship means to you, and I'll see that this embassy remains a credit to your record.
The only important guest we'll be having in the next 2 weeks is the Sultan of Bashir.
I'll see the Sultan gets royal treatment.
You sure will, Axel. I'm on the verge of including a major oil deal with the Sultan. I'll make me a very big one next November. Axel, most parents start their sons in the mailroom and let them work their way up. I started you on top, and you worked your way to the mailroom. Axel, darling, this embassy is a clean start for you. If it's not run by a perfect, I'll fire you. And if your own mother fires you, it's the end of the line. Goodbye.
Have a good flight, Mom. Mr. Kilroy.
You called?
For the next 2 weeks, I'm in charge of this embassy. Business will go on as usual, and it would mean a great deal to me to have your full cooperation.
Your mother should have known better than to leave in charge a man who was asked to leave Africa.
That's not fair. Some of the best men in the Foreign Service have at one time or another been recalled from a country.
Africa is a continent. You've been recalled from an entire continent. And what about Japan? You never mentioned that. Or the Soviet Union, you managed to cover that up too.
You know I've had some bad breaks career-wise.
And you were hung in effigy in Panama.
I admitted I was.
Yes, but you didn't say it was by our own embassy.
What the hell is that?
It's the communist police. They're chasing 3 people. They look like tourists. Mr. Magee, they're running up the steps of the embassy.
We can open the front door quickly.
Help! We're American tourists. The communists are after us. They think we're spies.
We're American. Hey, Smith, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
And to the republic for which it stands. It's the communist police.
Some vacation run. Come on, look.
Where are they? Hand them over to us.
Who? What? What did they do?
They were caught in the act of spying.
How?
They were taking pictures in a restricted area.
That doesn't make them spies. They're American tourists. Did you see the shirt that guy was wearing? What did they take pictures of?
Missile sites. Rocket installations. They have seen too much. They must die.
Mr. McGee is saying I'm circling the machine on the embassy.
Look, I'll give you the film. In fact, I'll give you the whole camera.
Hand them over to us, or we will drag them out and shoot them.
Nobody can be dragged out of this embassy and shot without the written consent of the American government.
Leave these premises at once. Your behavior is an extreme violation of international conduct.
Who are you?
I'm Axel Magee, and I'm in charge of this embassy during my mother's absence. And if you don't leave this embassy at once, guns or no guns, Mr. Kilroy, I'll throw you out.
Something is happening.
Yes, Inga, I know.
The soldiers surrounding the house. They are staring into the kitchen.
They won't hurt you.
But I can't cook if I'm being stared at. I'm that kind of person.
Who are you?
I am personal chef to Ambassador McGee, former chef to the King of Sweden, former chef of Queen of England, former chef at the White House. Before that, I did very little cooking.
Don't you terrorize our help.
I had a cake oven, and your gun just made it fall.
Mr. McGee, stand firm. I'll lodge a formal protest.
You stand for him. I'll lodge. Look, you spy on us, we spy on you. Everybody knows it. Why do we suddenly pretend it's so unusual?
You do spy on us?
Huh?
How often?
All the time. It's no secret. Espionage goes on between our countries every day. Why be so hypocritical about it?
It does, huh? And are they spies?
No, well, maybe, I don't know.
How do you know they're not spies? You've never seen them before.
Are you going to tell me that your country doesn't send spies into the United States posing as tourists?
Then you admit they're spies.
What if they are? That doesn't give you the right to enter this building illegally. You're going to cause an international incident. This is not just an outrage, but a vicious and cruel attempt upon the whole free world. I wouldn't be surprised if France took our side.
Mr. Krojack, I have your Foreign Affairs office on the phone. They want you to report back immediately.
He admitted they're spies.
You didn't, Mr. McGee.
Well,
He did. I have it all here on this tape.
innocent. Mr. Kilroy, you know, we spy, they spy.
We do nothing of the sort.
Actually, we do. If we all stop being so hypocritical and just be honest.
That's enough, Mr. McGee.
We do spy.
Will you speak louder, please?
Look, don't go twisting my words. You come barging into this embassy with guns, and you wonder why a brutal dictatorship gets a bad name?
This embassy will be surrounded from this day forward. The spies will either come out, or they will spend the rest of their lives in here. But first, the world will hear this confession. Goodbye. For now.
How can you do it? How could you admit they were spies?
I panicked. I lost control.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking, don't panic. Don't lose control.
You!
Who?
Yeah, you with the jacket. Why'd you tell him we're spies?
Walter, be careful. He's always eavesdropping.
How could you tell him we're spies? They say we're spies, he tells them yes. All of a sudden, I'm a spy? Oh, well, what's my line? They'll never guess.
Where's my daughter?
I'll get her. Miss Burns, bring the girl up from the basement.
Yes, Miss Burns, bring the girl up from the basement.
What are you, is that girl?
Walter, be quiet.
Those lunatics out there accuse us of spying, and this lunatic says yes.
If you were listening to the conversation, you would know I was trying to calm them down.
First no movie on the plane. Now this.
It's a simple misunderstanding.
How simple.
If we leave the building, they kill us. Simple enough?
Don't jump to conclusions. There'd be a trial first.
Who is this guy?
I'd better call your mother. Maybe I can stop at the airport.
There'll be no need for that. I can handle the crisis.
Handle one. You are one.
A man takes his family on vacation. He wants to show them a good time. This is what we have working in our government, and they wonder why I don't vote.
I've got to fill out a report.
Well, that's what you get for taking pictures.
It's my vacation. My new hobby is photography. Am I interested in their stupid missiles and rockets? All I want to do is take some pictures.
I wonder if your photos are valuable.
He held the camera backwards. They're pictures of his nose.
But God, I've had my head examined. Every time I listen to you, I wind up behind the 8 ball.
Here we go again.
If you would have listened to me, we would have taken a cabana at Atlantic Beach.
Atlantic Beach. Every year it must be Atlantic Beach. What's the matter? They need you to work the tide?
No, we had to go to Europe. $3,500 for 3 weeks of uninterrupted diarrhea.
What's so terrible? My brother suggested we see her. He had a wonderful time here.
I'm tired of living my life for your brother. I have to run my life by her brother. That's a hot one.
I realize you're sick. If I could just get some facts.
Mr. and Mrs. Walter Hollander, Newark, New Jersey.
You want to know the facts? The facts are I have a 3-week vacation. I said, let's go to Atlantic Beach. Their son will play pinochle miniature golf. No. Her brother said go to Europe. And behind the Iron Curtain, no less I needed this like I needed a group.
Aren't you interested in how the other half lives? We want you to the Faubourg in Paris.
Are you comparing communism to those girls?
As if he appreciates Europe any place. We took him to Westminster Abbey and his feet hurt. We took him to St. Peter's in Rome and he got dizzy from looking up. We took him to the Louvre. I hate to tell you what happened there.
It's pronounced Louvre, Louvre, so much you know.
In the Louvre, he struck a match across the Van Gogh. I thought I'd die.
Have either of you two had any respiratory ailments? Oh, poor.
I have a brother, you see. He's a wonderful man.
He's a Nazi.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Take my word for it, he should be wearing an armband.
Here we are. Seeking asylum.
Seeking asylum, I didn't do anything. I'm a caterer from New Jersey.
I'll need your passports and I have to get some information.
I'm giving you information. It began with my brother. Quite a lovely individual.
They should have hung him at Nuremberg.
Have either of you bought anything on credit?
My brother went to Europe last year. He had a wonderful time here. He suggested we bring my daughter. It's cultural. My brother's an intellectual.
Some intellectual like Mike Tyson.
And you're just a caterer. Nobody paid you to take pictures or anything like that?
Hollander and Blackwell, finest in Newark. Here's my card.
Do you work, Mrs. Hollander?
No, sir. I'm an average housewife.
Some housewife. She's a professional mahjong hustler. She carries around her in tiles.
And you just wandered into a restricted area. You didn't sneak in?
I told him it looked like private property, but he had to get a photograph. He said, why? Because there's guards and dogs and barbed wire? I said, yes, because there's guards and dogs and barbed wire. What did you think it was? A place that sold guards and dogs and barbed wire?
And they chased you and you had the good sense to come here?
My daughter had the presence of mind.
She did the right thing, Mrs. Hollander.
Sure, so you could tell them we're spies. My wife shouldn't have to go through this. She's not a young woman.
On the one hand, we want to protect you, but on the other hand, we have to protect the best interests of the United States.
I always thought they went hand in hand.
I'm an old woman.
I didn't mean old. I meant young old.
There's nothing to worry about.
Sure, because I'm a caterer, not a spy. Creative catering, our specialty. We were the first to make bridegrooms out of potato salad.
He does lovely work, I'll say that for him.
Last month we did a wedding reception. We did the bride's body in jello, her head in a very nice clam dip, with fruit punch spouting out of her mouth. Class affair.
I should have this cleared up in a few days.
What do you think I'm going to do, live here?
Mr. Hollander, it may require some effort, but we're going to show those communists that their state police tactics don't work. I'll see if Mr. Kilroy can find some spare cots.
Cots? I will not sleep on a cot. I'm a dignified human being with a hernia.
It's an emergency, Mr. Hollander. We'll try our best.
I can't stay here. Sam Blackwell can't handle the firm by himself. He's the inside man. I'm the outside man. It requires personality.
Mr. Hollander, was there some kind of notebook in your suitcase back in the hotel? Some kind of party list on it?
No. Oh, yeah, the Levine wedding estimate.
What is that?
The Levine wedding. How many on the bride's side, how many on the groom's side, how much roast beef, how much grapefruit.
The communist police say they've been working on it and they've broken the code.
Code? What code?
Supply information and troop movements.
Troop movements? That's the Levines and the Wassermans. There's more Levines because she's paying for the wedding, and they eat like an army, but they're civilians.
It's that damn Krojack trying to frame you.
It's like I said, it's the height of the season. I got weddings coming up, receptions, coming out parties. Sam Blackwell can't handle it by himself. He lacks my charm.
So we'll get his son to come in and help out. He's over 21.
His son? Who's going to dress him?
Your business can manage for a few days.
Oh, you think so? If you'll excuse me now, I'm going to America. Where's my hat?
Mr. McGee, what do you think's going to happen?
Let them capture me. I'm a caterer.
This is preposterous.
They want information? I'll tell him how to make grapefruit sections.
Mr. Hollander, you can't go out there.
Let him go. Go ahead out there and go, big shot. We'll be in here if you need us. There's the front door.
Now look.
Don't think I won't.
Stop talking already and do it.
Mrs. Hollander, don't start trouble.
You think I'm afraid of this, guys?
No, why should you be afraid? They're only secret police. They'll arrest you and torture you. What's to be afraid of?
You think I'm afraid to walk out?
No, go out there and get brainwashed. In your case, it'll probably help.
Mr. Hollander, I strongly urge you not to do anything rash.
Let him go. Go ahead.
You know if any of these guys belong to the Masons?
Hi, Mom. I've been hiding down in the basement.
Mr. McGee, this is my daughter, Susan. She was a cesarean.
How do you do, Miss McGee?
Axel Magee.
Are we free to go home yet?
Home?
Sure, we're free to go home. Just see what's doing out there? Thanks to this guy, we're liable to be stuck here 3-4 days.
I'm awfully sorry for the inconvenience. I realize it's terrible.
It's not terrible. It's really fun.
Well, it can be fun. Some people might look at this as an exciting experience.
Some people bought Edsels.
Dad, come on. We could be worse off. Look at this place. It's so lovely.
And what are we supposed to do about Seth?
Seth. Oh, my God.
Forgive her. Her panic, she's completely forgotten she gave birth twice.
I wasn't even worried about Seth. He's at camp.
Camp ends tomorrow. We're not factoring him in. What's going to happen? He'll be unsupervised. He'll live in the streets. He'll run amok. He'll rape and loot. You know our son, he takes after your brother.
I just remembered something. Susan's getting married next week.
That's right. I have a deposit on the hall.
Getting married? I guess you're anxious to get out of here.
That's a long story, Mr. McGee.
Let's not discuss it. The date's been set.
Well, you'll have to push the date back, so you better call the owner of the Renaissance Luau and get our deposit back.
You better call Donald. He'll be worried sick.
I'll call. Mr. McGee, what's the longest anyone has ever had to stay here?
We gave asylum to a priest who's been living upstairs for a while.
What's a while?
Oh, you know, a while.
How long?
6 years.
6 years? I said, let's go to Atlantic Beach. Their son will swim and play pinochle. No, her brother says, go to Europe. May he rest in peace.
He's not dead.
He should be.
You could at least give us a hand, Mr. McGee.
Look, Mr. Kilroy, I've been on the phone for the past 6 hours with Washington, with their embassy, with the UN. The whole picture's become clear to me now.
What whole picture?
This morning, the FBI captured this country's top secret agent, Adolf Loper, the Gray Fox.
The Gray Fox?
One of their most brilliant spies. We caught him posing as a student at Berkeley. Apparently, the Reds went after the first American tourist they could find in retaliation.
Now I suppose they want to trade spies. Adolf Loper for the Hollanders.
Washington won't hear of it. They're outraged.
I wonder if that's the way it's going to be from now on. Every time we arrest one of their spies, they arrest one of our caterers.
I better help the chef. Mr. Hollander is driving her crazy. He hates European food.
Mr. McGee, are you aware that the Sultan of Bashir is due here Friday? I suggest we postpone it for a more auspicious moment.
Nonsense. I should have this cleared up by Friday.
And if you don't?
If I don't, business will go on as usual. Remember, I'm running this embassy.
Excuse me. Hello, Mr. McGee. May I please speak with you a minute?
Certainly. I'm awfully sorry for the accommodations, but we are jammed, and it is temporary.
Mr. McGee, I hope you're not upset by my parents.
Upset?
They're really sweet people. They just have their own way of expressing themselves. Don't let their form of communication throw you.
Listen, you don't have to explain parents to me. I have 2 parents. Well, I had 2 parents. They're in court trying to disown me.
Mr. Kilroy explained to us that your mother's Ambassador McGee.
Did he also tell you that if I don't make it here, I'm finished?
Oh, it's not that bad. Everybody makes mistakes. Every time I pick up the papers, I read about another diplomatic crisis cropping up somewhere in the world.
Did you notice my name is in every article?
That's funny. You're just the opposite of Donald.
Who's Donald?
He's my fiancé. He's so confident, totally in command.
Well, I'm confident, too. Between major international blunders.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm really beginning to like it here.
I really appreciate you taking that kind of attitude.
I mean it. It's so exciting and romantic. Most people go through their whole lives without anything like this happening to them.
So your father keeps telling me.
Danger stimulates me. Did you know how many babies were born in England as a result of the Blitz?
Well, if it's danger you want, take a look out there. There must be 24 professional killers.
It's hard to see much.
Here, I'll knock up that light. You can see all the guards and secret police.
Oh, sure. Look at them out there. They've got machine guns. Are you married, Mr. Magee?
One thing about my work, you don't get to meet many attractive American women.
Well, don't you have a girlfriend or someone back home?
Actually, my work has caused me to travel a lot. What do you do? Are you an actress or a model or something?
No. I danced in the New York City Center Ballet, and I was a folk singer, and I worked in a coffee house in Greenwich Village.
Waitress?
Can you believe I repaired motorcycles? But right now, my big interest is painting.
No kidding. I paint. You hate my work, though. It's all very abstract. First, I stand back and I splash oil all over everything. Then I run over it with my sneakers, and then I stick my lunch on it. In fact, my lunch came in second at a showing in Cape Cod.
I adore abstract art.
Really? I'm a Jackson Pollock man myself. His strippings best express my mental state. After dinner, if you like, I can show you a little statue I made out of some old automobile parts in a bedpan.
I'd love it.
You know, Susan, you're really very pretty.
Thank you. Forget my intuition, Mr. Magee. I must know what the decision is for dinner.
What's the problem?
It's him,
Who?
Mr. Hollander. Be nice to him. I'll see you at dinner. Every day my name, he says no.
Does he have any suggestions?
Mr. Magee, we're 4,000 miles from the United States. This is a communist country. It's 8 o'clock at night. Where do you expect me to get Sally coffee cake?
What kind of place is this?
Oysters.
Oysters? No, I will not eat oysters. They're alive when you eat them. I want my food dead. Not sick, not wounded, dead.
It's too late to get anything new. Take a nice piece of veal.
You must be joking.
What's wrong with veal? My recipe is in one great secret of European cooking.
Really? Let's keep it that way.
Mr. Magee, if I had known, I couldn't get to the market. The soldiers.
Mr. Hollander, please try and understand that our menu here is particularly elaborate because we entertain guests from all over the world.
Look, all I want is a plain piece of boiled chicken.
Walter, where did you go off to?
You know I can't get anything to eat around here.
I'll go into the kitchen and make you something.
Good.
How do you live with this man? Before speaking?
Don't worry. I know what he likes.
I warn you, no one has ever been in my kitchen before. If you do anything to fall over my side, I don't know what I'll do. Do you hear me? I don't know what I'll do.
Good to know our food's being cooked by an outpatient.
I spoke to Barney Silverman on the phone.
Did you tell him not to drive the station wagon to Newark Airport because we may be 6 years late?
Mrs. Hollander, I wanted to speak to you about the phone. Naturally, you're free to use it if you could limit your calls to a few dozen.
This is nothing for her. She has to alert everyone in Newark, individually, like Paul Revere.
I called the Kleins and they'll take care of stuff till we get back.
You couldn't find a worse couple?
What's wrong with the Kleins?
They have orgies.
How do you know?
I catered one.
Hey, Mom, Dad, look who I met.
Father Drobney, what brings you down here?
I had so much commotion in the hall, and I met this young lady in the hall upstairs.
These are the Hollanders. They came here much the same way you did 6 years ago.
Are you refugees? Refugees? You know how much I paid for this shirt?
We were at the Vatican and we saw your boss.
Make fun of my shirt.
Yes, can I better take this inside.
Did you know that he has a tiny little room on the top floor and cracks and never leaves it?
Don't you go crazy? I'm a guest who's a courtesy to the government and do the best to make myself a nuisance.
Can't you ever leave here?
Only if there's some drastic change in national policy. I have many friends who could help me to escape, but my duty is to one day return and lead my people once again.
But until you leave your people, you stay up in your bedroom?
In recent years, I've developed a hobby, and so it passes the lonely moments.
What do you do?
Father Drobney is a magician.
I've been practicing for years.
That's a wonderful hobby.
Pick a card. Go ahead, take one. That's all I needed.
Come on, Dad, pick a card.
Walter, don't be rude.
Go ahead, take one. Jack of spades? Wrong. 5 of diamonds. Sorry.
Father Drobney, you have so many interesting things up there, don't you?
I have birds. I have parakeets. I raise them. I transform before your very eyes.
Well, why don't you go get some of your things? I'd love to see them.
Really? Would you?
Of course he would, wouldn't you, Walter?
Of course. Why do you think I had us trapped here? An audience. Look at this silk jacket, trip in the bag, and Billy Balls and rings. Terrific. It's the Ed Sullivan Show. I'll be right down.
Uncle Bay. Uncle Bay.
Can you imagine staying up in your room for 6 years and practicing magic?
Walter, what if the same thing happens to us?
Where do you compare? We're innocent tourists. He's a priest. I'm sure if he made some effort, he could get out of here. You know how it is with those guys. The one who suffers the most gets a promotion.
Mr. Hollander, I think we solved your dinner problem.
What?
The chef is making you hair.
What?
Hair.
What's hair?
Rabbit.
Pardon me?
Hair is rabbit.
It's the closest thing to chicken the chef could find.
Rabbit? You mean bunny rabbit?
If you don't ask him, he eats what you put in front of him.
You mean a rabbit like Peter Rabbit?
If I told you it was chicken, you wouldn't know the difference.
I will not eat my furry friends. It's like eating squirrels. Look, isn't there a Chinese restaurant in town or something? I'm back. He's back. I can only carry the small things. But it's enough for the first few hours of the show.
How long does the show last?
Hold this. I want to go home. I have dreams of this moment for years. What miracle shall I stop this?
Oh, I don't know. Can you walk on water?
My son is 12 years old. I won't see him again till he's 18. As you can observe, I have nothing in my robes.
Isn't that wonderful, Walter? A tricky priest.
I have nothing in my cage. Watch closely. I have taken this pack and put it in here. Cover it up. Say the magic words, and with the priest was a parrot. Wah! This is my rabbit. I had a rabbit in there. There's my rabbit.
Excuse me, how do you like it there, medium? Well done.
There's my rabbit. I eat no rabbit. I'm not getting that hair in my...
You've never had it before.
You're getting really good there. I'm not doing that. It's not going to wood.
This is an American embassy, and I mean to run it like one.
How do you know
Ridiculous. They're American tourists, and we will not turn them over to you. No, you will not wait them out. They've been here 5 days, and they're prepared to stay 5 years if necessary. Don't threaten me, and don't threaten them. You know you're only doing this because we captured Adolf Loper, your illustrious gray fox. Hello? Hello?
Boy, they're stinkers.
Mrs. Hollander, could you please remove that ironing board?
Where should I iron? If I go into the kitchen, the chef starts to cry.
If everyone would just please go to their room.
How much can a person keep locked up in a cloakroom? Listen, I'm worried about Walter. First he wrote his congressman and he got back a foreign letter. Then he wrote his senator and he got back a foreign letter. Then he wrote our son and he got back a foreign letter. I'm okay. I am eating. I am getting plenty of rest. I will consider any suggestions you may have. Your loving son, Seth.
That's because he writes him 3 letters a day. Your husband worries about that boy too much. There's no need for him to send him food from Europe. Please remove that ironing board.
Hello, Walter. You see that? I said hello, Walter. You see that look he gave me? Hello, Grouch.
Mrs. Hollander.
He should be here any minute.
Who should?
The Sultan Bashir. Did you forget?
Wasn't I called off?
I suggested a postponement, but you assured everyone that matters would be settled and that business would proceed as usual.
Well, let me think.
You know the Sultan is a dictator and a very temperamental man. Any little ripple could hurt your mother's oil deal, and I'd hate to be in your shoes if that happened.
Maybe I can still call him and delay it.
I got a telegram this morning. Sam Blackwell caters a Sweet 16 party.
I don't want to hear.
He gets the special price on the meats.
I'm not interested.
Doesn't use our regular guy here, tries to buy cheap.
I'm not listening.
4 guests go home that night, and what happens? They get food poisoning.
Oh my God!
They're in the hospital because he looked for bargains.
I'll bet they're suing.
Aha, now you want to hear?
Are they?
I don't want to tell you, you're not interested.
Tell me.
No, why should I tell you? You're not interested.
Tell me.
Oh, Foggy Day.
Walter, you know what you are? You're a sadist.
Why? A minute ago you weren't interested.
I'm not interested.
You're not good. Oh, Foggy Day.
Grouch, will you tell me?
Are they suing? Is that what they asked? Is that what you asked? Are they suing? No. They're not suing. They're not suing us. We're suing them for their resistance to tainted meat.
Walter!
Of course they're suing. We expect from poisoned people.
Oh my God.
If I could get Sam Blackwell here, I'd crush his head.
I'm thankful nobody died.
Yeah, Mary, we're thinking of making that our slogan. Hey, Excuse me, could someone help me out with this? Not now with the magic tricks. I don't know how Houdini used to get out of this.
Don't mind him, Father. I think it's wonderful a man of the cloth has a hobby besides just God.
A man builds a catering firm for 20 years. He leaves his partner in charge while he goes on vacation. He begins poisoning customers. I'm working with Lucrezia Borgia. Faith in the Lord, my son. I have faith in the Lord, Father. If you can hear me now, please crush Sam Blackwell's head.
Hello? Yes? No. What? It's New Jersey for you. Must be Sam Blackwell. Be nice, we all make mistakes.
Hello? Yes. Yes, this is he. Yes, go ahead. Hello, Cretan. How are you, Cretan? Wasn't any more people, Cretan? Oh, really? How many? Wonderful. Keep up the good work. 2 more killed over. They're dropping like flies. Murder? Murder! I can't hear you. Talk louder. Well, what did the lawyer say? He feels they have a case, eh? Blackwell, when I get back to the States, I'm going to rent a car and run you over. You understand? Hello? Murderer. Talk louder, murderer. I cannot hear you. Closings operator. I can't hear a murderer. Blackwell, you're finished as a caterer. You mixed your mass through combos. Murderer. Hello? What do we got here? Lawrence of Arabia?
How do you do, Sultan?
Sultan? You know him?
Are you ignorant of Sultan Bashir?
What do you do, hang around the UN building picking up Arabs? That is Royal Majesty, ruler of the people of Bashir. And I am here to see Ambassador McGee.
How do you do?
This is my wife.
Can you keep now?
I'm Walter Hollander from New Jersey. Drobney! You have a heart attack, you're not a young man. Excuse me, Your Majesty. I am a guest of Ambassador McGee.
I hope you didn't have any trouble getting through the guards outside. Walter and I are wanted.
I know where I read about the Sultan of Bashir recently. Didn't you fellas put down some kind of uprising? What? Didn't you have some kind of revolution or something like that? Where's the ambassador? Sure. You killed all those workers. That wasn't nice what you did to those people. They were protesting peacefully. There are 2 sides to that affair, my friend. What kind of 2 sides? If you poor workers go on strike, you gotta shoot them? If you could see them, they're vermin. There's no other way to teach them.
Why are you talking about something you know absolutely nothing about?
I don't know politics. What's the matter with you? Don't you read the papers? This guy executes his people like you use my MasterCard.
You're in a bad mood.
I did not come here to be received by a pair of dogs. Where's the ambassador? I always get frustrated because I read things in the papers, and being a little shot from New Jersey, I never get a chance to express my opinion to a real big shot.
No one asked you.
Your Majesty, forgive us. I will not stay here unless I receive an apology from your government. Mr. Hollander, leave this room at once. What's your trouble, Aladdin?
Walter, you're in a very bad mood this morning. Let's go.
I'm not going anywhere. I live here. Why? Because this bum has a few oil wells? Your Majesty, please come inside. You are an insolent swine! I'll hit him a shot and it chops off to bandage him in his own sheets.
Walter, but
Listen me, you pig! Oh, what's this guy doing here anyway? It's none of your business, Mr. Hollander. This is my business. I pay taxes. This building's rented with my money.
Walter, just don't get involved.
I don't like the idea of my government doing business with this guy. That's something for the government to decide. I am the government!
Listen to him. He's the government.
What do you think the government is? It's little people like you and me. Well, maybe not you. I have never been insulted in such a manner! Your Majesty, I beg your forgiveness. Take a walk, Fatso. That's how this country gets into trouble, dealing with guys like him.
In your opinion.
Yeah, watch more than Downey. I have never been humiliated in such a way. Relations between us. Your Majesty. And every time you bring someone who's a bum like him into this house, they get the same. Come on, Marion.
For a man who cheats on his income taxes, you're certainly a big shot.
Oh. But, Mom, Mr. Hollander insulted him. But, Mom, you said it would look bad for the family image if you left Mr. Kilroy in charge. But, Mom. Yes, ma'am. Goodbye.
I'll start right away to see if I can arrange a spy trade. Hard luck, McGee. Those are breaks. Hi, Axel. I brought you a drink. I thought you might need one.
Why? Why does it happen? What do I do? I'll kill myself, that's it. I'm gonna kill myself.
Axel, what happened?
I'm 30 years old and a failure. Not a little failure, I'm a big failure, like Eastern Airlines.
Your job really means a lot to you, doesn't it?
It's hard to understand. It's all I've been brought up to think of.
I do understand. I realize it's not that easy to be the son of a famous person.
Susan, do you know that when I was 10 years old and I did something wrong, my father used to hit me over the head with a copy of Time magazine with my mother's picture on the cover?
Axel, I don't find you a failure. Maybe you're just in the wrong field. Maybe in some other business you'd really be a genius.
Yeah, if there was such thing as a failure business, I'd have chain stores. What does your fiancé do?
He's a lawyer.
I know it's none of my business, but you don't seem wildly enthused over the prospect of getting married.
I'm not getting married. I haven't told my parents yet, but I have told Donald. Donald's bright and very handsome, but he's just not for me.
I see. Guess your father will be disappointed.
My father's gonna have a stroke. He adores Donald. Compared to the boys I almost married, Donald's the answer to my father's prayer.
Have you almost married often?
A few times, but they were always the type that would turn my father's hair gray. A manic, depressive jazz musician, a draft dodger, and a defrocked priest.
Boy, you must really hate the suburbs.
If I tie myself down for life, I want someone...
Stable and successful?
No, I want a little action.
That's what I meant. You don't want anybody too stable or successful.
Truth is, you never know what you want. You think you want a certain type, and then you meet someone who is nothing of what you want. But for some unexplainable reason, you fall in love with them.
I once wrote a poem about that.
A poem? Axel, you're a latent creator. Is this place still heavily surrounded?
Yeah, you want to see?
Oh, look at all those stars. You can see the Dipper, see?
I'm sorry. The air is so clear this time of year.
I love fall. It's such an exciting time of year. It's the start of everything.
I love winter because I love to ski.
I've never gone skiing before, but I'm so mad for the idea.
Well, maybe sometime when all this gets worked out, I could take you skiing. I know you'd love it. It's very romantic. I broke my pelvis once.
Well, listen, Axel, it's getting pretty late. I better be going to bed. Good night. It was really fun talking to you.
Thanks for the drink.
What?
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Damn it! Why can't I do anything right? Oh!
That's right, boy. We're being traded for a communist spy. Oh, big spy. It's a terrific thing. You'll read about it in all the papers. Is there anything you want us to bring you? Anything from here? He wants us to take some pictures. Creep. We'll see you when we get back. Don't forget to thank Mrs. Klein. I called Donald last night.
You called Donald? Don't you think that's Susan's business?
And I feel she neglects him. Besides, I want to establish good relations with my future son-in-law.
What did he say?
He wasn't home. My future attorney was in court, suing a slum landlord. The boy is a poet.
I called Barney Silverman and he rented the station wagon again.
Good, he can drop me off at work on the way home.
You're not coming home first?
What for?
You're going directly from Europe to work?
Why not?
Are you crazy?
I'll help with the unpacking when I get home at 7.
You haven't seen our apartment in 6 weeks.
Who was there to change it?
A man hasn't seen this apartment in 6 weeks and he's going to work first.
What do you care?
If I cash in on mutual funds, will you please see a psychiatrist?
It was so clever of Mr. Kilroy to arrange a spy exchange, Axel.
Yeah, he's very efficient. He's already lined up a big reception for the Sultan Bashir this weekend. And I'm sure he'll clear that situation over as quickly as he did this one. Some just have the knack.
I'd still rather be you.
I'm really going to miss you, Susan.
If you're ever in New York.
The rate I'm going, it could happen.
Axel, I'm really sorry about the other night.
You're sorry?
Yes, I'm sorry, because it was just something I wanted you to do. When you did it, I just got shaken up.
I wish we could have spent some more time together.
Yeah, so do I. But at least you still have your job.
Yeah?
I can't understand you. They've been so nice to us here. How can you stick your towels in your suitcase?
It's a habit. It's the pride child.
Is it safe to go out there?
It's all been carefully worked out. Mr. Krojack will accompany you to the plane.
Did you remember to take your hair dryer to Miss Burns' office?
We came to say goodbye and to wish you good luck.
Yeah, it's a pity you're leaving.
Chef, if you ever need a job, I'm sure I can get you one at chock full of nuts.
I may as well tell you, Mr. Hollander. The veal you had last night was eel and eucalyptus in your plate.
You think so? Look in the vase next to the dining room table. Bless you all. You all made my life richer. Ten of diamonds? Right. They're all 10 of diamonds.
Mr. Krojack has arrived.
So, we finally meet face to face.
We don't hold a grudge.
Sure, you can with the H-bomb.
Let bygones be bygones.
Criminals against the state.
Take it easy, mister. You'll live longer.
Only for Adolf Lopez, a gray fox, would our government do this.
Mr. Magee, will you check and see that the Hollanders haven't left anything?
I think there's a few cartons upstairs.
I better make sure Walter packed his passport. Wouldn't it be a scream if you had to spend the rest of your life on Ellis Island?
Mr. Kilroy, there's a photocall for you as urgent. The back from Magee's private line.
If I had my way, you and all those like you would hang in the public square as examples to all enemies of the state.
Krojack, when was the last time you called a girl and she said yes?
Gestapo during the war. On our at their disposal, and you would tell everything.
Tell what? Who's got what to tell?
Admit it. You are a filthy American spy.
Who? What?
Admit it.
Who?
Admit it.
What?
Admit it.
Okay, I admit it. If it makes you happy, I admit it. I'm not a caterer. I'm not from New Jersey. She's not my wife. She's a U-boat commander. You're supposed to be so clever, you're nothing. This was my easiest caper since the Kowalski wedding.
I will kill you myself.
I wouldn't try anything if I were you. We're all trained in karate. You know.
If my hands were not tied by stupid red tape, I would have my men come in here and drag you out.
It riles you, doesn't it? You like to bully people, don't you? Wait till I get back to the States and tell all the papers how we made monkeys out of you. You'll be the laughing stock of the secret police. I wouldn't be surprised if they took away your disguise kit.
I will kill you if I must use my bare hands to do it.
Don't move, I'll play in pieces.
You bluffing.
Oh, yeah?
You fool. That's a finger.
It may look like a finger, but it's a flesh-colored 45 with 2 joints, a knuckle, and a little hair.
Walter, I'm ready to go.
Me too, you got everything?
I had finally convinced the government to let me deal with you in my own manner. This deal has cheated me out of that and saved your lives. But we shall meet again.
I can't believe it. The deal is off.
What?
I've just received word from our intelligence. Adolf Lopez is dead.
Dead?
He's hung himself in his cell.
You mean he's dead? He's not alive, he's dead? Oh boy, am I in trouble.
The gray fox dies by his own hand. I must return to my office immediately. So, we shall meet again. And soon.
Walter, what are we going to do?
You mean we're not going home?
I guess not.
He had to pick the day to kill himself. He couldn't wait till the weekend. It's a holiday weekend.
See, and you wanted to rush off to work. I better call Barney Silverman.
I'm getting drowsy.
Drowsy?
I already took a Dramamine. It's a half hour before takeoff. We've had him for 7 days, and he had to pick the day to kill himself. And this morning yet?
It's 5 a.m. there. He did it before breakfast. See how important it is to eat? Well, we better go unpack.
I'll call Seth and tell him to go ahead with this application to the foster parents' home.
I wonder what makes a man kill himself.
What do you expect from a gray fox? Is that any name for a grown-up person?
Well, you said we should spend more time together.
Oh, boy. Marion, come quickly. She's kissing the failure. While you, Al's, having soda and cookies, the Hollanders have been living here for nearly 2 weeks now, and everyone is really feeling strained. Mrs. Hollander has nothing to do, and so she goes around all day cleaning the embassy.
I waxed every floor in the house today. Twice. Even the rooms of wall-to-wall carpeting.
It's a nice thing to be clean, but the lot of floor wax is a dangerous thing.
Damn living room floor.
Susan and Magee feel a different kind of strain.
Oh, Axel, I wish there was some place we could go to be alone.
I know, your father watches us like a hawk. Last night, when he thought we were meeting in the dining room, he squatted motionless, put a throw pillow on his lap, and pretended to be a chair.
You're kidding.
No, I sat on him.
If Mr. Hollander's behavior seems a little extreme, it's only because he's a man so much in a failing business, a failing future son-in-law, and a 12-year-old boy that he misses very much. Dear Seth, don't forget to dress warmly and eat slowly. Chew your food carefully and go to bed early. And stay away from women. See what happened to me? After thinking it over very carefully and weighing the pros and cons, I had a long talk with Mrs. Hollander and Susan about the only way to see their home again. Escape.
Did Father Drobney speak to you about an escape?
Oh, yes. I think it is a wonderful idea.
Did you suggest it to Mr. Magee?
No, I really want to wait till the moment's right. Did you suggest it to Daddy?
I wouldn't dare, you know, he hates to take me anyplace.
Hello, Magee.
Hello, Father. I didn't want to alarm anybody, but I don't like what's going on out there. This morning there were just a few pickets, and now there's dozens. And a lot of them look too old to be students to me.
Some are not students. Some are communist agitators.
But just how ominous are those anti-Hollander signs they're carrying?
Is there a safe place to hide the Hollanders in the event of serious rioting?
Serious writing? What do you have in mind?
Stoning, looting, fires.
Stoning, looting, fires. My life is like the Old Testament. The only thing I've been able to avoid so far is locusts.
The Hollanders are enemies of the state. Krojack has many followers who will stop at nothing. If they choose to, they'll find a way to come in here and get the Hollanders out.
See, Kilroy doesn't understand the danger of these things. He likes my vast experience in being stoned and spit at. I better call my mother direct and let her know what's going on.
I want to speak to you.
Later, Mr. Hollander.
All of a sudden, it's goodbye, successful lawyer, hello, psychotic diplomat.
It's her own life, Walter. She's 23.
Who says it's not her own life? I just wanted to do the right thing.
So?
So what I say is the right thing. This guy's what we used to call in the pool room a loser.
He's a Yale graduate.
Yale makes mistakes too.
Walter, don't get involved.
This is the worst prospect she's ever had. I even like the draft dodger she was going with better than this guy, because at least he was a success. He beat the draft. That's something.
May I remind you that when I married you, your future didn't look too secure.
That's different. I had a joie de vivre.
What good is security if she's not happy?
Who said anything about happy? I'm talking about marriage. When you get married, you give up happiness. All of a sudden, Donald can't make her happy. He's an attorney. There'll be court cases, litigation, briefs to fill out. It's romantic.
She was always a little lukewarm about Donald, I felt. I didn't want to say anything. What are you doing with that stove?
This is a stove?
It's a porcelain tile stove. Do you think Europe has central heating?
I've been mailing letters in it.
What is that? There must be those pickets outside.
Be careful, man. That's wrong with
fight sky high.
Hey, nobody come near me.
They're running away.
Everybody, out of the room, quickly.
Walter, keep calm.
I'm calm. Here's Walter.
I've had experience with these things. If I could just dismantle it before it goes off.
Dismantle.
Axel, be careful.
My leg itches.
Where's the itch, Walter? I'll scratch you.
Get out of the room.
What about you?
Look out the window. You'll see me passing over the house any minute now.
The dog's getting for a limb from limb.
This thing dismantle.
There. I did it. It's dead.
My heart sounds like a biscuit.
Well, who tells you to pick up strange objects?
That's how I met you.
Has anyone been hurt?
Well, okay, what about everyone else?
Mr. Kilroy got hit in the head with a brick. He must have concussion. He thinks he's the Wright brothers.
Right, brothers? Lodge a complaint at the ministry and report this to Washington. Tell them I tried reaching my mother, but she's somewhere in the damn Caribbean. Come quickly, Wilbur. I'm coming, Orville. I'm telling you, Wilbur, we can do it. Do what? To fly. Orville. You're crazy. So are you. Let's go down to Cape Hawk Friday and put it in the air. We'll do it. Both of us. What if it doesn't work, Orville? Wilbur, we must try it and stop this arguing. Orville, you always were Mother's favorite. Miss Burns, take Mr. Kilroy to his room and get a doctor over here immediately. We may have to check him into a hospital.
You better get him twin beds.
In the absence of my superiors, I have no choice but to give myself a battlefield commission. Until further notice, I'm in charge of this embassy.
How exciting.
Now, if I could think of what to do, it would help.
I can.
What?
Axel, supposing my parents and I escape.
By escape, you mean what?
By escape, I mean to leave here and show up in New York.
Susan, you're nuts.
But I've already spoken to Father Drobney about it. He says we can do it.
Father Drobney? The Holy Houdini. He can't get himself out of a straitjacket. What does he know?
He knows how to get us out of the country. He says it's a cinch. Axel, there's no other way.
Susan, why don't you get some rest? And if you still feel the same way next year...
Why can't we escape? Give me one good reason.
That's one good reason. If you think your father's uncomfortable here, wait till you see him in front of a firing squad.
But my parents are willing. We've already discussed it.
Then your parents should be locked up. And since they are locked up, we have nothing to talk about.
Axel, I'm serious.
A foggy day.
You have no imagination.
I have a wonderful imagination. 10 minutes after you try and escape, I can picture Krojack wearing your father's shirt.
Axel, why can't we escape?
I gave you a good reason. An escape requires timing and coordination and good physical condition. Your father gets out of breath when I asked him to pass the salt.
Axel, for once in your life, will you take the initiative and don't let things happen to you? We can do it together. That's what life is. It's a series of adventures you go through with someone you care about it. We can do it with you leading the way, your firm young jaw against the wind.
Susan, have you been smoking the drapes?
Yeah.
I thought you said they approved.
Well, my mom approved. I thought you could tell that.
Susan, I can't go through with this.
Mother, Dad, come quickly. Axel has something to tell you.
Susan, let's discuss this.
If we stay here, it's just a question of time till another bomb comes through the window. You have no right to deny us a chance to save our lives.
I don't like these kind of things. I like a nice, quiet evening at home.
Axel, we can do it together.
Be realistic, Susan. How could we get out of the building?
We could dig a tunnel.
Dig a tunnel? Are you kidding?
No.
With our knowledge of engineering, we'd wind up in the stove.
All right, well, how about we escape out of the back of a laundry truck? I saw that once in an old prison movie.
We don't send our laundry out anymore. Your mother does it for the whole embassy. No, you'd only have a chance if, say, you were at a party. You dressed as guests, mingled with the crowd, and then left with everyone else.
Axel, you are brilliant.
What?
The idea you had, because there is a party here this Saturday for the Sultan, we're just going to dress as guests, mingle, and walk right out.
That's the craziest thing I've ever
No,
heard.
it's not. It's a stroke of genius.
What's so urgent? What's the failure want to tell us?
Go ahead, Axel.
Susan.
Axel!
That was an awfully nasty bomb that came through the window before.
Oh, did you notice that?
Mr. Hollander, in view of the circumstances and under careful consideration, I feel our situation calls for a little action.
What kind of action?
Supposing you actually were a trap spy, what would you do?
What would I do? I deny and claim to be a caterer. What do you want from me?
Mr. Hollander, you read the papers. What do families do when they're trapped behind the Berlin Wall and they want freedom desperately? So desperately their lives depend on it?
What do? They escape. They go over walls or through roadblocks, forge passports, or go through tunnels. It's been wonderful chatting with you, Magee. If you get any other hysterical notions, be sure to let me know.
Mr. Hollander, it's the only way.
Escape. What an interesting idea.
Magee, you're crazy. You know you're crazy. Years of insanity had made you crazy.
Dad, why not? It's better than being trapped here.
Crouch, will you listen for a minute?
A foggy day.
Mr. Hollander, it's a matter of life or death.
You picked the wrong person to talk to about an escape. I don't escape from places. That's not my field. I enter and I stay.
It's wrong to reject an idea just because it sounds radical.
That's exactly it. It's radical. And when it comes to forging passports or going through roadblocks, I'm a terrific conservative. I'm the Jerry Falwell of the escape world.
Calm down, will you please?
Marion, have you ever seen a man with a hernia running from a tank?
Dad, you read about it every day. Husbands escape. Couples escape. Lovers flee tyranny.
What you read is husband shot escaping, couple shot escaping, lovers killed fleeing tyranny.
You are a coward.
That's right, Mr. Anthony. If you wanted a hero, you should have married Sergeant York.
Do you want your daughter to grow up here for the rest of her life?
I'd rather she grew up here than grow up as an orphan. I'm funny that way. I can tolerate anybody's orphan but my own.
You want your daughter to meet other eligible men, don't you?
All right, tell me this plan. I've had a good laugh in a long time. Tell me the plan so I can go ha ha.
This weekend there's going to be a reception here.
Who's catering it?
Will you let him finish?
A big party in the honor of the Sultan Bashir. That night this house will be filled with dignitaries, men and women from all nations, even this one. You two and Susan will dress as guests. Now then, you'll wait until your room till around midnight, then you'll come downstairs, get your coats, and leave with everyone else.
It'll give you a chance to wear your dark blue mohair.
I don't like my dark blue mohair. It itches.
How can mohair itch? It's a soft fabric.
Sue me, it itches.
Well, you have to wear a dark suit because I'm not going to escape if you're not going to dress.
We're not going anyplace.
Once outside, the embassy limousine will be waiting, and you're off.
Suppose we do get out of here. What then? The rest is simple. My contacts will see to it you're on your way home within hours.
Mr. Hollander, I appeal to you. For the safety of everyone concerned, we must not procrastinate. Timing is very important.
We'll see Seth again. I miss him so. By the way, Walter, I didn't want to mention this before because you'd get upset, but I got a letter from my brother. Our apartment was robbed.
What?
Burglars broke in, stole the portable TV, and all your shirts.
I'm cursed. I'm a cursed caterer. I'm trapped here, and somewhere out there burglars are running around with my initials on the cuffs.
Dad, come on, let's go home.
Mr. Hollander, I beg you. Magee's plan is a good one. You can trust him. I know he seems like a bungler, but he's actually bright and resourceful. He knows exactly what he's doing, and you are in good hands. All right, we'll escape.
Mr. Hollander, you have nothing to worry about. I'm in complete control.
You're a nut. Fraught with danger and intrigue. I made several calls to some of the most brilliant men in the underground. Unfortunately, they had all been captured. Magee worked round the clock devising an escape plan so complicated that only 3 people in the world understood it. And Magee was not one of them. On the morning of the day of the escape, they reviewed the plan to make sure it was foolproof. It's a rotten plan. It'll never work. Let's call it off.
We're not calling anything off.
Now then, let's go over the entire procedure again. Mr. Hollander, who are you?
I'm John Randall from Washington, D.C. I work in the Department of the Interior. I'm married and I have 4 children. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and went to school in California. I majored in agriculture and first entered government under Eisenhower. I drive a Chrysler Imperial. Who's going to ask me those questions?
In the event that you're stopped at any point, your answers must be consistent.
Nobody's going to believe I'm Sam Randall.
John Randall.
John, Sam, I got such a headache.
What are you doing in Europe?
What am I doing in Europe? I'm making a tour of underdeveloped nations to help them cope with the problems of soil conservation and erosion.
Very good.
Oh, very good, me.
And I'm his lovely wife, Carmen. I'm also the former Miss Wisconsin of 1958.
If they believe that, we win the whole Cold War. Well, look at those varicose veins. They'll think I'm smuggling road maps.
Where are you staying in town?
At the Grand Hotel for 1 week, then we're flying to Malaysia.
All right. Now, what do you do when you leave here?
At about midnight, when some of the other guests are leaving, we casually say excuse me and leave with the largest group. Our chauffeur then takes us to the lobby of the Grand Hotel.
Provided we haven't been stopped at the gate, identified, arrested, shot, tortured, and beaten.
At the lobby of the Grand Hotel, a man will come up to me and say, "Those are extremely lovely earrings you're wearing. My wife has a pair just like them. Here's our driver. We will go with him."
Correct.
What if a stranger happens to like her earrings, will wind up following him to Lapland?
What happens when he takes you to the railroad station?
We go with him to the railroad station, where we see a man, presumably not suspicious looking, who says the grass is green. Which, for my money, he might as well wear a neon sign saying I am a spy. What do? We get on the train with him, heading for Istanbul. Another first in my life, I need Istanbul like I need to play with my fear of the Turks.
But you don't get to Istanbul.
Halfway there, we jump off the train.
I'm really looking forward to that. It's been so long since I jumped off a moving train.
Your contact will assist you in all these maneuvers.
What are you so worried about?
But wait and see how well you jump off the train. You practically break a leg finding a seat in the movies.
After we jump off the train, we're met by a man driving a wagon load of hay.
Correct.
We dress up as peasants, get up on the wagon, and go with him.
Has to be hay, right? I got the worst hay fever in America. Must be hay.
He takes us to the seashore where we're picked up by a submarine. Isn't it thrilling, Walter?
A submarine? Yesterday you said it was a plane.
It had to be changed. Security precautions.
Oh, thanks for telling me. I would have spent all day looking for the wings.
Now then, here's some local currency.
No, I got money. You save it for the next guy.
Take it, Walter. You only have traveler's checks.
They're good anywhere.
You're going to stop in the middle of a chase through an alley and start signing traveler's checks?
Wait a minute. Who said anything about chasing through alleys? You said this was going to be simple. I can't run. I'm an old man with orthopedic shoes.
I suggest you take the money. Incidentally, have you ever shot a pistol?
Shot a pistol? How often in the catering business is there a gunfight?
It's very simple. It can't go off unless you release this safety catch. Then you just squeeze the trigger.
It's a beauty.
I don't think you should carry a gun.
Why not?
Because you don't know how to use one.
Don't tell me. I can use a gun.
When did you ever use a gun?
Plenty of times.
When?
I want to carry the gun.
I don't want you to carry a gun.
I want to carry the gun. Why can't I carry the gun? I want to carry the gun.
I'm not going to escape if you're going to carry a gun.
Maybe Mrs. Hollander's right. There'll be no need for it. I'm being overcautious.
Why do you always have to take the fun out of everything?
All right, you can carry the gun, but keep it unloaded.
That's right. You always have the time to load it. I've got every angle figured out.
You never tell when this little piece of tin can spell the difference.
Well, this is it.
Don't worry, it'll be a cinch.
You got very confident all of a sudden.
Everyone makes a big deal out of nothing.
You think so?
Sure. Whole thing will be over in 2 hours. Couldn't be any worse an ordeal than your sister's wedding.
You think so?
What are you crying about? She's crying already.
I'm sorry.
That's why I never want to go anywhere with you. And that's why I wasn't keen on escaping, because I knew you'd turn it into a federal case. What's the matter?
I don't know.
How can you not know what you're crying about? Did something hurt you?
I'm afraid.
Aha! You're not such a big shot. You talk a good game. Stop crying. Hey, come on, everything's going to be all right. Will you trust me? Come on, this whole thing's going to be simple as pie. What's the worst that could happen? We'll get caught. Big deal. What do? They'll try and torture us. So what? We just bite down on their cyanide caps. Stop crying. Come on, we have a little faith in me. Have I let you down yet? Remember when that soldier at Palisades Amusement Park whistled at you? Right after we were married, I gave him a sock in the mouth.
Yeah, he was a tiny little thing.
You were so beautiful in your cute Aztec shawl.
And you with the dark suit and the white socks and the saddle shoes.
Those were doctor's orders. I had a foot infection.
Walter, will you protect me?
Hey, have I ever let you down? Ever? Did I hold your hand through 2 pregnancies, 4 false alarms, and a very complicated oral prophylaxis?
Oh, Walter, I've been such a terrible wife.
Not at all. You'd be surprised, but a lot of women would find me unpleasant.
Yeah, no.
Sure. Now come on, go upstairs and get ready.
I'm wearing my new dress.
You better bring a pair of sneakers.
Oh, Wally.
You haven't called me that since the Harvest Moon Ball, and even then I said if you ever did, I'd break your neck.
I'm going.
I'm gonna read my paper. Hey, don't you worry. You're with a guy that can handle himself.
Mr. Hollander?
Enjoy being guest of honor?
Mr. Magee, there's nothing better to smell on the dry than bourbon.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of bourbon inside.
Where's the American from New Jersey? The mongrel.
He couldn't make it, but he sends his apologies and best wishes. I'm delighted you consented to give us the opportunity to honor you, Your Majesty. You know how my mother feels about you.
Where is your mother?
She meant to get back, but her plane was late. She'll probably be back after all the guests have gone.
Take a card.
Not now, Father.
Go ahead, take one.
I'm not in the mood for magic.
That's a message written on the two of spades.
You can tell me the message, Father. No one will hear you.
The Hollanders are ready.
That's the message.
Axel,
Where are your parents?
they're coming. My father's having trouble getting his holster on.
The house is crawling with trouble. Krojack is here. If I tried to keep anyone away, it would look suspicious. You better get going while the coast is clear.
Goodbye, Axel. I'll speak to you in a few days.
We have some future plans to discuss.
Walter, you haven't hugged and kissed me like that in 25 years.
That was you? What are we gonna do?
Try to appear casual.
I am appearing casual.
You know, Walter, you can tell you're carrying a gun.
Get out of here, you cannot.
You can, too. There's a big bulge under your shoulder.
It's the way I'm built.
It's not the way you built. You don't have a handle.
Leave me alone.
Put it upstairs.
We need it.
We don't need it. It's dangerous. You shot Mr. Kilroy today.
It went off by accident.
Walter, people are staring at your bulge.
Which one?
We have not met, have we?
I'm John Rambo from Washington, D.C. I work in the Department of the Interior. I'm married and I have 4 children. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and went to school in California. I majored in agriculture and first entered government under Eisenhower. I drive a Chrysler Imperial. I'm John Randall.
And I'm his lovely wife, Carmen.
How do you do? Countess Kaznar, and this is Countess Wilhelmina Bourdain.
Charles, say hello to the Countess, darling.
Hello, darling.
This wine is extraordinary. Have you tasted it?
Exquisite.
Yes, rather diffident and feral, wouldn't you say, Mr. Randolph?
The bouquet is subtly demure, yet playfully articulate. That's Wire magazine.
How long have you been here?
2 days.
A few days.
2 weeks. We're staying at the big hotel.
We're staying at the Grand Hotel. Well, it's getting late. Come on, Walter.
Walter?
How amusing my own wife forgets I'm Sam Randall.
John.
Sam?
Oh, John, Sam, Walter. Everyone in Washington kept getting me confused with Lyndon Johnson. John, Sam Johnson. I kept getting all his meat bills and bread messages.
How interesting.
Yeah, we really must be going. We're due in Tunisia.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, Tunisia, come on, Marion.
Marion?
And I'm his lovely wife, Carmen.
Oh, allow me. Oh. My cigarette lighter.
May I have a light?
Damn zippers never work.
No matter. The party is about over, and I hate to be the last one to leave.
Lucky those zippos never work.
Come on, Marion. So, meet again. Krojack, what'd you do? Roll a drunk and steal his invitation?
You're all dressed up. Are you going somewhere?
Krojack. Telephone call for you. It's urgent. Why don't you take it to my room? It's quiet up there. Murray's at holding.
I will deal with you later.
Where are they?
They've gone. Once they're past the police at the front gate, the rest is not hard.
If we don't hear anything in the next 2 minutes, we can assume they've made it.
By now they're going down the front steps. Now they're going to the car, slowly and deliberately.
Now they're going through the gate, all together. The police have no reason to stop them.
Stop me! I will kill you!
I wonder if this is going on in any other embassy.
What's that? Oh, Axel, it's terrible. Walter, how could you do it?
It was dark. I couldn't see anything.
Mom!
How could you attempt an escape?
Mom, the situation called for something bold. If it had worked, we'd all be heroes.
But it failed, just as everything you do fails. Picketing, riot, bomb. This never happened in my embassy before. And this morning, a devout priest produced a 7 of spades from my ear.
Father Drobney was trying to cheer you up, Mom.
I'll get you for this, Axel. One way or another, I'll get you for this. You hear me? Go on, come on. Excuse me. Through with him, Miss Hollander. Axel, your father called this morning. He wants you to send him your birth certificate. Through 11 months pregnancy and 72 hours labor, only to be shot by Peter. Axel, I'm so sorry. It's all our fault.
No, it isn't, but now they've doubled the guard outside.
Well, Magee, it was a nice try. Unfortunately, I shot the boss, but it's a nice try anyway.
I guess we're here for good now.
No, I got you into this, and I promise I'll get you out.
Well, I'm ready, willing, and able to try anything. I feel toughened by the fact that I've actually drawn blood, even if it was your mother's.
What was that?
Oh my God, it's Selma Bashir and his wife, and they unconscious.
Serves them right. They drank enough alcohol last night to rub down the Green Bay Packers.
I better call Bernie Silverman. He's probably still at Montauk Point waiting up for us to service the station wagon.
Miss Burns, the Sultan and his wife have had a little too much party. Take them upstairs and put them in bed. If you have any trouble moving the Sultan and his dolly downstairs, find some pajamas for them. Pajamas. Pajamas. Pajamas.
Pajamas?
Pajamas!
McGee, why are you staring at me like that, repeating the word pajamas? I bet it would work.
Axel, what are you thinking?
Father Drobney, come here quickly.
McGee, if there's anything going through your head other than the usual cattle stampede, I'd suggest you let us know.
Size is about right.
Axel, I know what you're thinking, but there's 2 of them and 3 of us.
No one saw them leave last night, so if they leave now, it'll look perfectly natural. Except underneath those royal robes will not be His Majesty, but the Phantom Caterer.
Sounds great. It'll never work, but it sounds great.
It's just crazy enough to work.
You two, come on, change quickly.
But what about me?
I'll come to you. Miss Burns, please assist them.
Axel, this is brilliant. Are you sure you know what you're doing, though?
Susan, for the first time since all this started, I feel in complete control. This is going to work.
You called?
Yes, Father, are your contacts still ready to go at a moment's notice?
Yes, I'm sure.
Now alert them quickly.
Axel, this is so thrilling. You're actually having an idea.
Susan, every now and then, fate comes along, takes a man by his hand, and enables him to build a mountain.
Oh, Axel, how corny.
Susan, I'm going to get you all home safely, right now.
The storm we were expecting will be a little late. I think the same precautions are in order.
Susan, have I told you lately that I love you?
No, but if you want, I think we can work something out.
Suit itches.
How can a suit itch? It's silk.
I've explained 1,000 times. My dermatologist says I have the thighs of a princess. Go immediately. God bless you.
Try to be as casual and confident as you can, and if anyone talks to you, mutter something about Allah.
The driver will take you to the Grand Hotel. From there, everything will be precisely the same.
What about Susan?
She's going to walk out of here in a little while with me, under full diplomatic immunity.
How?
As the wife of a foreign diplomat, you get that privilege.
Wife? You and her?
Well, why not? We're over 21. We're United States citizens in United States territory. Father Drobney is a priest. It's perfect.
Oh, Axel. My Susan and bride. This is the happiest day of my life. I only wish your father were alive to see it.
I am alive. I'm right here.
I'm sorry, dear. I guess I got carried away.
What if she doesn't want to marry you?
Oh, I do.
You do? May Allah twist your nose off.
You've got to act fast.
Well, we're on the submarine. You wire us your silverware pattern.
May all the sand from the desert fill your navel.
Axel, this is so thrilling.
Hurry, please.
Come on, Mary. We have to call the unemployment office and register his name.
When I get back to the United States, I'll send you one of those pills. It's too late.
Incidentally, the Hollanders made it safely to Newark. I married Susan and McGee, and Rebecca McGee is still running for governor without the Sultan's help. And just to be sure no one causes any more trouble, she sent McGee 5,000 miles away to Bolivia, where after the first time in 200 years, that country had a plague of locusts. Pick a card. Go ahead. Pick a card. much. I'd like to call the rest of the cast members up here. We had some people that performed with us. Are they all up here? Yeah. I guess I won't call them up. Just a brief word of thanks to all the kids that worked backstage. I think most of them are here. Steve that worked on the lights. Flashlight that you saw running back here was Steve working on the telephone. And of course, I had three really essential right arms, my three stage managers, David, Stacy back there. Oh, Stacy right over there. I think he's in the back, but a very special thank you to Mr. Krojack who built the set. Anyone I forgot? A special thank you, of course. A special thank you, of course, to every one of the cast members who were just really wonderful. This is very nostalgic to me because this actually was the very first play I ever directed back here in 1969. And I was 11 at the time. But after 20 years, they proved that it's just as funny now as it was then. And most importantly to you, because without you, our audience, there'd be no need for us to be here, even though we amuse one another very well. But thank you very much. A belt that holds my pen. Okay. Okay. It's massive comedy and tragedy. This is really beautiful. Okay,